getting ready to touch down in New Mexico.
This is our 50th state, our first glimpse of it at Petroglyph National Monument. We're starting this little trail here and immediately see some petroglyphs that were done about 500 to 800 years ago, and some of them were older. There are thousands of petroglyphs. I think they said 15,000. The Spanish also left petroglyphs. They say they date these by looking at things that are on pottery and trying to kind of match them. This is the view from climbing the escarpment. Volcanic eruptions created those cones. These mountains are the Sandia Mountains. We're 1 mile above sea level now, and those mountains are over 10,000 feet. This is the Rio Grande Valley, and first inhabited 3,000 years ago by ancestral Pueblo people. We're at Blade's Bistro in Placitas, New Mexico. You got a horseradish rib, New York strip, and I got stir fry, shrimp and salmon stir fry. Here's our B&B. We have a little kitchen, a bed, a place to sit, a TV. Not fancy, but it should be good. This is our little place for tonight. Gonna watch the sunset soon. And we have some view of the mountains. Sandia Mountains. A lot of balloons have launched. We're going up the tram to the Sandia Crest.
I was wondering.
Our first aspen sighting. We just got off the lift. We're heading up the trail on the Sandia Peak. These are fossils from 300 million years ago. These are worms. We're seeing a lot of nice aspens on this trail.
We're on our first hike here really in New Mexico on the Sandia Crest Trail, and we're going up to see the cabin. What's it called?
Kiwanis Cabin.
Kiwanis Cabin. We're going to see Kiwanis Cabin. We're about 10,000 feet.
There's some pretty spectacular views. We're looking down at Albuquerque into the Rio Grande Rift Zone. That green line is probably the Rio Grande. You can see the whole ridge line. The Sandia Mountains and where we walked just now to get here. We are over 10,000 feet and there are trees. Not above the tree line.
We're seeing the beautiful yellow colors pop out of these trees here at the top of the mountain. And we got Albuquerque all the way down there.
This graphic shows that the Sandia Mountains were formed, some parts of it, 1.7 billion years ago. Metamorphic sandstone. There's some granite, limestone.
We made it to the top. Look at all those antennae.
We're starting the La Luz Trail now to form a loop back to the tram.
We're on the steep part of the trail, heading down. Sticks really coming in handy today.
Oh, we are really on the edge of the cliff. Pretty aspens coming down. Wow, look at this. It's very vertical.
Don't drop your phone.
So gorgeous. We're surrounded by yellow right here. We're surrounded by the aspens. Look at that gorgeous path.
Yeah.
Totally peak. Up and down. Well, unbelievable, but we found another even prettier place to take a picture. And this was where we were, in Kiwanis cabin, way up there. And you could see the levels of the earth, the tiers, and how the ground was uplifted and tilted. And here's the vertical cliffs.
We'll have a second one as we get closer to second tower.
Keep thinking I'm done taking pictures. There goes the tram that we were on. That was a fun ride. Going to Mary and Tito's Cafe. Carne adobada. Huevos rancheros with the red chili sauce. The green sauce is really good. It's chunky. The red sauce is good, but it doesn't have any texture. It's hot too, but not too hot. This is the plaza. Oh, we got some chilies. All kinds of shops in the plaza. Rugs. Hiking stores, so colorful. This is the San Felipe de Neri Church. Still on Route 66, going through downtown Albuquerque. Here's the Occidental Life building. Headed back to our Airbnb in Placitas, north of Albuquerque. And we were at the top of that mountain early today. Another pretty sunset. Driving to our next hike. We see lots of balloons.
So we're on the South Pedro Lisa Trail, which is much different than yesterday. This is very, very deserty. We're about 7,000 feet today. Yesterday we were at 10.
So many cacti. Seeing some cactus in bloom. Prickly pear, maybe? Got some wildflowers here. These rocks that are going right across the path are intended for water diversion off of the path, so it doesn't wash it out. Got some rocky places. Sun is just barely making it over that. It's amazing that these trees can grow in these rock crevices like this. Not much soil. I don't know how that stays up. We made it to the top. It's only 2.1 miles, but look at that profile. We're at the Rio Grande Nature Center. This room is cool. You can look over the pond. I am walking through sand like on a beach. We're going to the Rio Grande River, which has its headwaters up in Colorado, 187 miles away. Mark's got to be touching the river. It goes on down through New Mexico and into Mexico, and then curves into Texas. Then empties in Gulf of Mexico. The highways are earth tone. We're at the range on Route 66, and you have green chili stew with some corn in it or something. And I have an enchilada plate with carne adobada.
Woohoo!
Carne adobada is made with some red chilies, and it's really good. It's just pork and marinated for I don't know how long, but it's so good.
Eons.
This is the range, which we just went to, and it was really good. And apparently Bill Clinton was in here in '93. Another sunset from our patio. We can see Venus, the bright star, and then right there in the middle, just above the dark cloud, is a sliver of the moon. The moon is setting, so it's a sunset and a moonset. We're headed to the balloon festival in the dark. 5 a.m. Somehow we got a parking spot. This is a family operation here. Got the kids working. The balloonists each have their own cards and they give them out to people. You think you'll be able to fly?
So
I don't know.
Right now,
You just walk around the field talking to the balloon owners. Just got a green flag. That means they're gonna fly. Woo. People getting their baskets out. Excitement brewing.
Getting more and more balloons getting filled up with the hot air, and they're starting to take off.
This is crazy! Nuts! 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 Bye-bye! Here it goes! Whoa! So in Albuquerque, it's unique. There's this box, low altitudes it goes south, and in high altitudes it goes north. So sometimes they can land in exactly the same spot that they took off in. Maybe the wind died down a little because they seem very dense now. They're not being carried away as quickly.
And then is there one in your water bottle? Put some of that gloss, you know, that
It's a wood carver competition.
Yeah, would that work? Yeah.
Watching the chainsaw. Now we're at a little hut with 30 artisans. We're here for the night session. Souvenirs, blankets, food. Skydivers. Soft landing. Sun's going down. I guess this is the Alpenglow.
Wiggle burning, wiggle burning.
We're having some breakfast out here early in the morning. Looking over here toward Albuquerque, seeing if maybe the balloons might be going up pretty soon. There's probably 30 balloons in the air now. We have to say goodbye. Going to Santa Fe. Wow, isn't that pretty? Just saw a coyote go up there. And this is all Indian land. We're at the Jemez Hot Springs. Gonna be soaking in these mineral pools for a couple of hours. These are such cute little pools. Such a cute place.
Jemez Hot Springs. Enjoying a good thorough soak.
This place is ranked in the top 10 in the country for natural hot springs. It's like 4 pools, different heat levels. If I build a few of these little sessions in the vacations, Mark won't get mad at me too much about overscheduling. Down. we stopped because the aspens are just so incredibly gorgeous right here. Looks like there might have been a forest fire. Valles Caldera. Looking into the Valles Caldera. It's part of the volcano building back up. Often herds of elk can be seen in this caldera. Surrounded by the volcano rim, I suppose. Surrounded by higher ground. Or Los Alamos Visitor Center, where Oppenheimer and the Manhattan Project developed the nuclear bomb, the A-bomb. We're looking at displays about the Manhattan Project. That's Oppenheimer. This is how they got plutonium from Washington State and enriched uranium from Tennessee to build a bomb. This display talks about the Manhattan Project timeline. This part of the museum talks about the future, about nuclear weapons in particular. This is a replica of Little Boy. Fat Man. Little Boy used projectile mechanism to start the chain reaction of the fission. And Fat Boy used an implosion mechanism. The gadget is an implosion device. This is Frijoles Canyon, part of Bandelier National Monument. Boy, what a visitor center. Starting the 1 mile Bandelier Main Loop Trail. This is a big room that would have been domed, and people lived here between 1000 and 1500 CE. This is the remains of a village where they said about 400 people might have lived, with about another 100 living up there. This is getting really super cool. So volcano erupted about 1 million years ago, and then this tufi is easy to carve into. The rock is very porous. This is a reconstructed house to show what one might have looked like with a face. Little rooms dug out.
Does it have black guys in it?
So I'm crouching down to get in here. I can stand up right here, but not if I stepped up here. You can only really sit. Maybe this was just storage. Probably storage. Main cavern at the top of this ladder. Just amazing scenery. This is called the Longhouse. This is the Longhouse. There are some petroglyphs on the walls. And these rooms were used for storage mainly, and would have had some kind of structure built in front of it like we saw. We saw an Abert squirrel. It looks like a bunny almost because it has these large black ears. I have for dinner tonight enchiladas verduras. It's vegetarian with sweet potato. And Mark has green chili stew again. I love my vegetarian enchilada with the sweet potatoes. It's so good. It has this green chili sauce and the corn with it is amazing. We're watching the sunrise this morning. We're starting the Atalaya Mountain Trail. Got some flowers in bloom here. Trail starts out through tons of these flowers. Tons. Look at all these. Holy cow. Tons and tons. It goes on and on. So this is an arroyo, kind of like a water channel that we're following. We're going to be climbing 1,800 feet today in 3 miles. Pretty cactus. We're lucky these are in bloom. Look very hard, but I am not touching because I learned from the prickly pear touch that I did, which I still think I have a thorn in there somewhere. Cactus to evergreens. 800 feet ahead of us to climb. It's going to get really steep. We're almost to the top and we're seeing a lot of this pink rock, quartz in it. Big crystals here now. Big parts of white to pink. Don't know if the video will pick this up, but this is just glistening. We're on the ridge line. Very strange looking.
So we made it to the top of the Atalaya mountain, 9,150 feet. Santa Fe down below.
We've seen a lot of this pink rock vein of pink rock right across the trail. Just goes up the mountain. Well, here we are in the old town near the plaza. Boy, Natalie said that every building was adobe, and she was right. This is the state capital of New Mexico.
There's an incredible art display.
We're learning more about that because in the 90s, but what they wanted to do was really bring awareness and give all that away, but that it's sacred to them.
This is San Miguel Church, the oldest church structure in the U.S., built in 1610.
And then that ensures that they come back.
Mark was noticing that this kind of ceiling, same construction as in the 2 B&Bs we've stayed at here. This Loreto Chapel was the first Gothic structure west of the Mississippi. No nails, no supports. The builder built this in 6 months. They do not know who did it. He disappeared after he built it. This is the cathedral. This fountain commemorates the founding of Santa Fe 400 years before 1598. This is the Palace of the Governors, So native arts are being sold here. At this bench that we're gonna sit on. This is where the Santa Fe Trail from Missouri crossed the El Camino Real from Mexico City. This place just looks cool. Really rugged terrain here. Okay, so that is the Rio Grande. Things just opened up into this wide plain. We're at St. Francis de Assisi. This is a good example of the New Mexican architecture. They have to redo these walls every year. They have to perform maintenance on them to help support the roof structure. Again, it has this roof structure that seems to be common in New Mexico. This is the Taos Plaza. We're starting the West Rim Trail, part of the Rio Grande Trail, and it's also part of the Rio Grande del Norte National Monument. This is the Rio Grande, and that's the Rio Grande Gorge Bridge, and we're going to do this canyon edge hike. It's just an out and back along the rim. We are walking through scrub sagebrush. We're not sure what these are, but we see a lot of them in the rocks here. This is really pretty. National Conservation Lands.
We're at the rim of the Rio Grande, 6,900 feet where we're standing, and the river down below is about 600 to 700 feet lower, 6,200 feet. Near Taos.
It's so pretty. They do raft, class 3 and 4 rapids here. Lots of critters could hide around in there.
All an ass. They are running in and out of that hole.
We're at Orlando's. The natives say the best restaurant in Taos. I got enchiladas with 3 types of sauce, green, red, and some other roasted red pepper one. And Mark got a tamale and
Chili relleno.
and a chili relleno. These things are pozole out of corn. Hominy. Pretty sink in the bathroom. I got the red, green, and roasted red pepper chili sauce combo. They're all good. We're entering Taos Pueblo. This is San Geronimo Church. This is the courtyard of San Geronimo. Pretty special architecture. This was built in the 1800s. This is a UNESCO World Heritage Center. There was a massacre here in the 1800s. One of the Indians killed a governor, and then the US Army came in and killed 100 people. in a church. They set fire to the church.
I'm sure you're curious to know how our homes are built.
We took an incredible tour just now where she explained their way of life, government, how they made these adobe houses and how they live in them. They still live in them. No plumbing, no water. They get the water from the river here, which, because there is no plumbing allowed upriver because they own this mountain, there's no contamination. There are also no animals up there that are cows and things like that. The way they build these walls is with mud and water and some straw, and they have to be resurfaced every September. Our tour guide explained that they were part of the US and part of their native country, and she had a nose piercing, long fake eyelashes, and heart dangly earrings. There she is right there. And but she lives in these homes without any heat or water, but they are so well insulated through hundreds of years of replastering that they stay cool and they stay warm. The housing units are like apartments or condos separated by walls. They have front doors, but they also can enter from the top. These ladders are how they get to the second stories. There's no staircases inside. The tour guide said her 90-year-old grandparents still go up the ladders. There are shops in here. They encourage you to go in. These are their homes. This is the way you can see inside. Taos Pueblo is one of the oldest continually inhabited structures in the country. This little thing is an oven. They make bread and pies, and they sell the pies and the cookies to the visitors. This is another one of their ovens. This is a little alleyway to a shop. They have to have passports to leave the country, and they have US driver's license. The people live in these homes behind that curtain or blanket, and in the front is their shop. They have restricted areas. They don't like you to be behind their buildings. That's usually their private entrances. They do allow propane for heat, but they have no gas line. The way the people on the third floor would enter their homes is to go up those two ladders. They walk on the roofs. This is one of the larger shops. You can see how it's made out of straw. Seeing some nice color here. Aspens at the top of the mountains. We're on the high road from Taos. We think these yellow golden trees are aspens, but we've seen a lot of yellow cottonwoods also at lower altitudes. We stopped at a viewpoint in Cordova. It really changed quickly from the pine forests. We are winding our way to our next hike.
We're getting ready to do our last hike on the Burrega Trail to go see the aspens.
With our new best friends.
I take no offense to that.
Lots of fall color. Aspens typically grow in clusters, sharing a root system. Oh, so pretty walking through the leaves at eye level. We've encountered in hikes before a debate about whether to clean up the area for fire suppression or to leave it. Now in Santa Fe, they are saying that because of 100 years of fire suppression, there's too much debris. So they put it in piles and make controlled burns in the winter when fire risk is low. Aspens are different than birch because aspen's bark does not peel. Their leaves are more rounded than birches, and they grow in clusters. Sun is pretty high up now, almost 11 o'clock. Some sections of the trails, the leaves are shimmering. We're really lucky to be catching these trees at peak and having some saplings at eye level on our hike, because it looks like they are really golden at the top for the tall trees. We're at 8,900 feet. Walking up the plaza to lunch. We're at Tia Sophia's. This is where they invented the breakfast burrito, they claim. What did you get?
Got a green chili combo with chicken enchilada, beans, and then this is sopapilla.
And what is sopapilla?
Fried bread, fried Indian bread.
Indian bread. And this, I got a relleno and an enchilada. Christmas style. That means both red and green sauce. I really like this fry bread. That was good. Crispy and chewy. So Billy the Kid, an outlaw, was captured and held here in this building. Santa Fe. We've seen so many marijuana dispensaries here, more than anywhere we've ever seen. Just browsing in the plaza. Oh, this is a beautiful store.
Mostly by nature.
Mostly by nature. We stopped here for some lemonade. Interesting.
We're having a good vibes only lemonade here in Santa Fe, waiting for the Georgia O'Keeffe Museum. Glad they wouldn't let us in.
Oh my God, he looks so funny surrounded by all this pink. Going to the Georgia O'Keeffe Museum. Georgia O'Keeffe was born in Wisconsin. That's the University of Virginia right there. That's where I went to school.
You too?
Driving up Canyon Road is a famous half-a-mile stretch with all the art galleries, although we saw plenty of art galleries in the plaza. We have to say goodbye to this great Airbnb.
Boo!
We have to go home. We had a good time here, and it was nice outside too. This is the main road to Albuquerque from Santa Fe. Well, after we swore we would not eat this kind of food for at least a week, at the airport we got carne adobada
And
a green
chili enchilada with
yeah,
chicken.
one last time.
Looks a little different.
Yeah. Okay, I think I like the red sauce better. Unless you get chunky green sauce. What do you think about the food here?
Best meal is the chunky green sauce on top of the carne adobada that was marinated in the red sauce.
True.
Boom.
There you go.
Boom. Boom.
That is the best. Even here in the airport is better than what we get at home.